Hello, welcome to Thursday, 1st of September! Yay! It's the start of school for my friends, not me. My school starts my classes officially start 19th of September, but the orientation starts at 9th of September for me. So, joys of joys, but this is my Assassin's Creed Renaissance review. So, finally, going to start up on Ezio Auditore's trilogy, or rather say his storyline. And it's quite fun, although it takes quite a bit of time to finish this whole book. It's let me do a little comparison, just to make you guys a little bit easier to understand. For the first book, The Secret Crusade, what I feel is that the book sort of makes Altair's character more full, more whole round, makes him much more like a full character. Just adds a lot more character to him. But for Ezio, for this book just expands on the features, the character that originally exists in the Assassin's Creed 2 game, because in some bits basically can't show, and this book very cleverly added some bits to show have a bigger, more full expression of certain characters' personality and relationship between one another, which is good and I love. And also this story it's the plot line, it's much more complex, because with the first book it's basically just go kill these guys. You need to follow my order, go kill these guys, and then oh no, the person that asks you to kill those guys actually betrayed you and you need to kill him, and then things went on from there and just basically nothing's happening. But this is a long story of revenge and blood. It's that, and the plot lines, they congregate really well. The story is fluent, it flows well, and all in all it's great, except the bit where I don't know, it feels alright. It does feel good, certainly. How do I want to say? There are some bits where the killings are a bit weird, because in this book, basically there are a lot more people that Ezio wants to kill to exact his revenge. But one or two of the assassinations seems a bit weird for my liking. I don't know, it's just my personal feeling, it's just a bit weird, but it doesn't affect the story too much. And similar to what the Assassin's Creed 1 does, these Assassin's Creed storybooks, they basically, you have when it's a game, you have tutorials, and basically this book managed to turn those tutorials into very vivid, very logical, and very exciting parts of the story. For example, for the blending bit, when I saw the Assassin's Creed game, the Assassin's Creed 2, the game, basically you just stand in the middle of some courtesans and stand for a bit, and then just that's it. You blend. But this one, I don't want to spoil it a lot, but actually this won't spoil the main plot, so I'll just say this one, it actually makes you to sort of stand in the sort of blend, and then stand in the middle, but power will actually caught you, and then only after a lot of attempts and 15 minutes, and actually after 15 minutes, when Paolo didn't actually see Ezio, he basically called it, oh, okay, Yeah, where are you? You can come out now, and just make the whole blending thing so much more realistic. Like he's actually seen but unseen, the whole thing. And also for the climbing bit, it just brings a lot more of the training that you need to sort of exact the jump grab thingy, and so it just magnifies those minute details that the game just sort of flew by because there's just tutorials. And I have to say the author did that job pretty well. It's not a masterpiece, but it's not far away from it. And also, but there's a question on my part. In the last chapter, the time of year is 1503 August in Rome. However, when I saw it in the game, it said 1499. And I don't know why there is such a time difference. It's the same bit of assassinating the Spaniard. The story here and the gameplay is basically the same. The game cutscenes are basically telling about the same thing, but the time is different. In the game it's 1499, but in here it's August 1503, and I don't know why. There's just a bit of a, how do you say that? I don't know, but that sort of that just makes sense. How come it's the same thing but it's on different time? Yeah. And also, if you play the game, but if you play Assassin's Creed 2 but you did not buy the DLC, you should read this book, because this book actually adds Sequence 12 and Sequence 13, which are the DLC of Assassin's Creed 2, and with that, you'll get pretty much the whole story. You get the full picture of the story. You know what actually happened in Forlì and stuff. And it's good. It's good to see that Ubisoft actually allow Oliver to basically get Sequence 12 and 13 to into the whole story, instead of just we'll get another book sort of like an extra like that and sell money. No, there's actually, yeah, for the story purposes they somehow need to do that, but I appreciate that they in the end did that, which is good. And also, in this here, actually Rosa did kiss Ezio in here, but not in the game. But it's kind of weird, but because in the game you kind of can't felt that the feelings of Rosa towards Ezio is much more light. There isn't a lot of love between them, and also the game just doesn't have the race thing. Perhaps they want to exaggerate, which is a good thing. And that's it really. It's a really good part 1 of 3 of the Ezio trilogy. It's really good part 1 of Ezio's trilogy, and this book makes me look extremely forward to the next installment of the Assassin's Creed complete collection, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Just like what the game calls, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Yeah, looking forward to this. Well, and just and here the last sentence is, there was a new world to be made. I don't know why. And also, this book kind of cuts out the how do you say that, the future bit, Desmond Mount bit, really heavily, but kind of heavily when Minerva speak. It's basically just cuts. Oh, I'm sorry. The card just was full back then. The last card got full. This I just changed a new card and record again. Anyway, back to what I was talking about is the future bit, the cutaway from future bit. This, it's, although still is, how to say, it's still done pretty well. There is one bit that I think deserves more polishing on, because if you play the game to the end, you know that Minerva, in Minerva's speech, he actually is speaking to Desmond, and his last sentence was blah 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 Desmond, and sort of Ezio just, who's Desmond? Who is this frick? Who is this guy? Desmond? Who is he? And then the thing just Minerva sort of just vanishes. However, in this, basically, what the author had done is basically cut the whole bit involving the word Desmond out. It is up to you now, and the author just delete Desmond, the word, out. It's up to you now. We can do no more. Yeah, it's just that. But Desmond, there's no word about Desmond or something. So yeah, that I think deserved a little bit more polishing. But I also think that might be the best the author could do. Yeah, because it's actually to preserve the most content of within the Renaissance timeline. You have to put that speech in. But yeah, he basically just used the minimal deletion thing. And just delete the least thing, which just delete Desmond, the word Desmond, yeah, and Ezio questions afterwards, which honestly I think is the author's decision. I can't alter it, and turns out the effects isn't that bad after all. And that's it really. This is a really good book. This is, I don't know, just as good as The Secret Crusade, I think. And this books make me look forward more to the next one, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, which judging from its cover and the introduction on its back, it should be a cracker to read, and I will definitely reading this on my flight to US. And expect the next book review on the Assassin's Creed series in the United States, in my new home, or the CCA, the Campus Corner apartment of the college. And yeah, see you next time on the next book review in the United States. And as always, just like every other vlog, let's meet back the next time, shall we?